This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. This message is brought to you by thepowermagazine.com and howmuchyoubench.net. Free shipping at howmuchyoubench.net. Buy your slingshot today. Pair of wraps. Get yourself ready for Christmas. Get yourself ready for bench pressing on Christmas Day. Anyway, we got a question to get to here for the Power Project, and the question is from Ben Davis, and he would like to know how I have utilized CarbNite and how a guy like Brandon Lilly has used CarbNite recently to drop some weight, but he's also wondering if he can just utilize it to get a little bit better body composition. He's currently about 260, and he'd like to kind of tighten up, and he plays football, so he doesn't want to lose too much weight because he doesn't want to be a wimp and get tossed around on the field, because on a football field, no one cares if you have a six-pack. They care that you have some strength and you have some leverage underneath you. So I would not suggest that you follow CarbNite to a T. I would do a modification to it, and I'd eat carbohydrates around your workouts and see how that works for you. That's something that we're actually doing. Jesse Burdick and myself are actually helping Brandon with right now. Immediately following the contest, when he came out here to California, he realized how fat he truly was, and he went back home. He cried for a few days, I believe, and the crying, actually, I think he lost about 3-4 pounds in crying. But he cried for a couple days. He realized that he's chubby. He saw Stan, he saw myself, he saw Burdick, he saw that we're jacked, he saw how tan we were, and he was very jealous. But the thing with Brandon is that he's a very, very big dude, very powerful guy. What I was looking at when I saw him was just that he's just carrying around some excess stuff that I felt that he didn't need to carry, and he could still be strong without it, even though he did lose about 20 pounds. That's quite a significant change. So it'll take him a little bit to get used to that, but he should still be the same strength and possibly even stronger when he prepares for his next competition. He might have to put a little bit of that weight back on. He went from about 325 down to about 305, and right now we have him staying there. And what we're going to do from here is we're going to continue to work on him getting a little bit leaner. Something that you can do for yourself is you can start to clean up your diet, would be number one. Number two is you can use methods of cardio that won't really pull a lot of body weight off you, but will just help with body composition. You can do real light cardio for 20 minutes about 3 times a week. That would be one way of doing it. Another way of doing it would be to follow some of the methods suggested by John Kiefer in Power Magazine, thepowermagazine.com. And Kiefer basically refers to HIIT training. You can look it up. You can Google it. You can find out a lot of information on it. But basically, it's just 30 seconds, full blast on whatever piece of equipment, whatever machine you want to get on. You go 30 seconds, full blast, and then you rest about 4 minutes and repeat 5 or 6 times, and that's your cardio session. What that'll do is that'll help you burn some fat, and it's also going to help you to your uptake of glycogen, carbohydrates, and other various nutrients into your body. So it can actually, in some ways, help improve your body composition without making you drop a lot of weight. It can also be utilized to drop weight, but you are just going to need to keep in mind you're going to have to replace some of those calories. So one thing I would suggest is to follow something like CarbNite, but not to a T, not all the way full blast. I would eat some carbohydrates before training in the form of rice, potato, something along those lines, something that's fairly easy to digest, a complex carbohydrate. Immediately following training, I would ingest about 100 grams of carbohydrates and about 50 grams of protein. I actually do that during my workout. It's actually 100 grams of protein and 100 grams of carbohydrates. Just something I've been kind of playing around with. Sounds a little wacky, but that's what I'm doing. I take it with some digestive enzymes so I don't blow my O-ring out too bad. And that's what I've been doing, and it seems to be working pretty good. My body weight has been maintained at about 257 to 260 pounds Brandon's body weight is starting to level out as well. And so we got him having pre-workout, intra, carbohydrates, during the workout, mainly after the first two movements are completed. Then you start to sip your protein carb combo. After training, you're going to hit up some more carbohydrates, eat some steak, and again, like a potato, rice, whatever your preferred carbohydrate is. I actually throw down some chocolate sometimes. I actually have some dark chocolate right here. I'll eat about half a bar of that, sometimes I have a protein bar. I'm sponsored by a company that makes a Perfect Foods bar, and I'll eat that with the dark chocolate. How boring is that? But it tastes good. It helps keep my cravings away from me downing enormous bowls of ice cream and things like that. So those of you out there that are looking to just tighten up and get your body composition a little bit better, ketosis is not necessarily something that you need to play with, although you could do 2 or 3 cycles of CarbNite. Again, CarbNite is a 6 to 7 day, it's a 7 days of no carbohydrates. On the 7th day, the last 2 meals, you can kind of eat whatever you want. So you could do 2 or 3 cycles of that to tighten up your body a little bit, and then from there, you can start to reintroduce carbohydrates. But for the most part, for now, I would just say it sounds like you want to actually gain a little bit of weight. So try having the carbohydrates surrounding your workouts. If you're still losing weight on that, you're going to have to eat more carbohydrates. You're going to have some carbohydrates in the morning and some stuff like that. But hopefully some of that stuff helps. Another thing you can do is you can introduce some supersets into your workouts, giant sets, where you do 2 or 3 things in a row. So after the main movement is completed, I myself, Brandon Lilly, Jesse Burdick, a lot of other guys out there have been implementing supersetting type stuff. Just, it could be anything. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's just that it gets done. I like to do things that don't interfere with each other, and I also like to do things that just create more of a pump. So sometimes I'll do something like, let's say, a pull-down ab movement with, in between that, I'll do a face pull. The 2 movements really have nothing to do with each other. I can get a lot out of both of them. An example of doing 2 things in a row that would just blow me up and give me a pump would be, dumbbell tricep extensions followed by a tricep pushdown. Something like that. Whatever you can get to that's easy. Don't make it hard. Don't make it so you have to roam around the entire gym and that you have to put cones down and tape, warning tape down and everything, and ward off a whole area. Don't make it like that. Just whatever you can grab a hold of. You do some dumbbell curls and you lay back and boom, you hit some incline dumbbell bench press or whatever the hell it is. Just work in some supersets. Do about 3 or 4 rounds of those. 10 to 12 repetitions, no rest in between the first 2 movements, and then rest about 2 minutes in between each set. And that is it from supertraining.tv. Later.